Hi guys, it's Michelle McCosh and we're live at 5. Let's see if anyone is out there because it is Labor Day. Hi Andrea. Hey Jen. Hopefully you've got a drink, Jan. I do not. So I don't know how many people are actually going to join us because, hi Robin, because it is Labor Day. It was very quiet in the store. We had one customer come in. So next year I need to remember to close. Although I did get a lot of work done. Okay, so what I thought I would do is I wanted to try something with this Sarah Newman stamp. Ah, Chardonnay, nice choice, Jim. ESN 43, this is by Sarah Newman, and I wanted to use this stamp here. I just thought it might be kind of fun to do something with that. So I pulled some colors out. I've got honeydew, guacamole, zucchini, and if I needed something a little darker, I thought I could go with Castleton. Actually, I might stamp with that. I wonder how that would look. I have some embossing powder, Dragon's Egg, the Wow embossing pad, and I have some Dina's White Gloss Spray. So let's get some paint down. I also pulled some foil sheets. So I need to find my glue. I have that somewhere. But let's start with the paint. So let's put a little bit of the honeydew down. Some bright pink on there. I must have got something on there. But that was dumb. I didn't put gesso down. Okay, so let's dry that and do the gesso. I knew something was wrong. Okay, let's put some gesso down. So is anybody doing anything fun today? One boating down by the lake and then barbecuing? Isn't that what you do on Labor Day? Or is that just Memorial Day? Okay, that's better. Just didn't feel right. Okay, now let's get some honeydew down. Oh, raining there? Not down here. I pulled in this morning and there was, I was the only one in the parking lot. A bunch of cop cars were there. Sheriff's Department, there was 3 or 4 of them. And I was like, oh. Turns out they must have been doing some dog training exercise or something. because they walked around the building like 9 or 10 times with the dog on a leash and other cops following them. It's like, oh, okay. Let me dry it, and then I'm going to go and put another color on there. Let's see. So you can see how it's starting to look. We don't see much of the honeydew, so I'm going to add a bit more in there. So I'm going to add I think a bit of, well, maybe I don't want zucchini. Well, let's put some down. If it's too dark, then I'll put more honeydew on top. So I cleared a package on Saturday with customs within 5 minutes of them notifying me that I had to do this paperwork. And I did do the paperwork, and it hasn't moved. Now, normally, when things go through customs, they start moving, you know, through the weekend, even through a holiday, it'll move. So I don't know what's going to go on with that package. Obviously, it won't be here tomorrow, even though it says it will be. But I have a feeling that customs is going to get very, very backed up, because if they're having to check every single package that comes in now. Okay, I like that better with the darker color on there, actually. So let's try it. Oh, what did you see, Andrea? What was the movie? My nan had a caravan in Wales. We used to go there every summer. I watched a movie yesterday. I watched that one. It's called The Thursday Murder Club on Netflix. It was kind of fun. All right, let me just put the gesso up. Let's grab a stamp block. Let's grab a bigger stamp block. Bad Guys 2. I haven't heard of that one. Okay. So I just want to make sure this is dry, because I don't want the embossing powder to stick all over it. And now I'm not sure I want that color. Maybe we'll just go with gold, and I can sand it if I need to. So let me just grab a gold. Got a rose gold. Got a metallic. I'm going to go with the metallic gold. Well, hopefully my ink pad will be okay, because it was used in a class on Saturday. And I had to clean it because it had black ink all over it. So I think I'm going to go right here. Okay. some powder down. Hi, Seekin Island. Okay. Let's pop that back in here to melt that. Sarah just has some very, very pretty collage style stamps. And I thought this one would be kind of fun to do, but I didn't want it to be rich gold, so we're going to sand it. We'll take the shine off. Just get that. Okay, we got it all. So there it is so far. I want to put some of the foil down. Maybe this one. Let's get some sticky. I've got to reach behind me. I'm trying to think, Andrea, I'll have to look it up. I'll ask my mom tonight where it was. I do remember it was right on the beach, and I remember walking as a kid with my dad and my brother. We were quite young, and I used to hate going to this caravan. But just putting some thin lines of this glue down. And we were walking along the beach one time with my granddad, and we came across a mine that had washed ashore. And my granddad was beating it with a stick to see what it was. And my dad was having a hissy fit yelling at him. And then they called the police and they closed the beach down. Look at that one. But I'll have to find out the name of the place. Okay, I put some lines down. You can't really see it. It does need to dry. So what we're going to do is we have to be careful, because if I sand it, the particles are going to go into that glue. But we're going to do that anyway, because it might be interesting. Okay. I need more grit. There you go, that's better. Yeah, we used to go every summer. Okay, so it's less gold. I don't know if you can tell, but it is less gold than it was. Now I'm going to try and heat that glue and we'll get it to dry. The hard thing is, though, it's hard for me to tell where I put the glue. I know I put some over here. I can see it bubbling there. And I put some up here. So we have a paper artsy card class next week online, I think. We're going to make at least 4 cards. Or obviously you can do whatever the techniques are in a journal. But we'll We'll be using paint and stamps and die cuts. Let's see. Let's see if it will stick. I think it still looks a little wet, the glue. Oh, no, it is pulling. Like I said, you got to figure out where the glue went. There's some here. So can you see the, it's not very foil looking because I don't want it to be very blingy, so that's why I used a subtle foil. But I just wanted to add a little bit of interest. I don't think I had glue over there. Oh, I have some here. And a bit up here. Okay, so there's where we are at so far, and a lot of that bright gold is now gone, which is good. So it's kind of a dull. Let's see if you can see that. Probably up close. Can you see how it's not shiny gold, that leaf? It's very dull looking, which is very cool. But you can see a little bit where the powder, like the stamp itself, is kind of pitted, if you like. So it goes down into the pits. All right, let's add a little white drop on there. I think you can see the white more on the table than you can on the card. Yeah, you're not really seeing. Perhaps I should have pulled black. I just didn't want the dark black. Well, you know what I can do? I did pull this one, Castleton, which is a green. Let's make splatters with that one. All right, let's grab a brush. That's better. I'll just dry that and then we'll ink the edges. And then I'll hold it up so you can see it. It's funny how ink just finishes off on the edges. Okay, oops. And there we go. So this could have been a card. I actually had intended to do something else with it, but I could put it on a journal page. I could cut it. I was actually going to cut it into an oval, but there you go. Pretty cool background. Love that stamp. Again, it's got quite a few on it. Love that big postage one as well. We'll use that as well this week. So ESN 43. And we have this one in stock. All right, guys, have a great rest of Labor Day, or Monday if you're in England. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 5. Have a good night. Bye.